Sonia, welcome to the show, and just it's amazing to be with you and just to learn from what you're about to teach us today. And before you kind of go into EFT with us, can you explain a bit about your background and how you kind of went on this journey?
Yeah, I've been practicing EFT for over a decade now. I travel and teach all over the world and I train people how to do it. I came to it back in 2004 after trying so many different things to work on myself and having some success for years and years and years of therapy and alternative methods, dancing, healing, meditating, praying, yoga, all kinds of Celtic rituals and beautiful things, really beautiful things that all inform my work now and didn't seem to relieve the neuroses, the depression, the fear, the anxiety, the self-esteem issues that I was having. They were all sort of helping move me along, but nothing was like pulling those files out of my head and giving me back my power in a very crystal clear, quick way. And I had a nervous breakdown at some point, right before I learned tapping. And a friend of mine came over who had just learned the basics from a little weekend introductory course. And she practiced on me, and it made a huge difference in a really short period of time, as in minutes, I could feel myself changing. And an hour after she tapped with me, I felt completely different inside. And it's not to say that, years and years of pain went away in 1 second, but the sense of overwhelm and depression I was suffering shifted so completely that I was convinced that I needed more. And after about 4 or 5 more sessions, I was able to learn how to do it. And I committed my life to sharing it with other people because it's such a quick and easy thing that you can do yourself, and it's so empowering. So I'm excited to share this with your viewers.
Bless you. Well, it's so true. Having worked in a pharmacy myself when I was really young, taken a lot of medicines, I found personally as well that even if you go see a psychologist, I'm not disrespecting them, it's that if you've never been in that situation, you can't really advise someone. Whereas with EFT, it's about working on you and it's not about the other person.
Exactly. And it's something that you can do, in the middle of the night when you're freaking out. And that's, people tend to be sort of fine in the middle of the day. It's when they get tired, when they get hungry, when they get back home to the kids, when they get exhausted over a long weekend, that they get triggered around events. And that's when your therapist isn't working, right? So this is something that you can do in your car, and you can take 5 minutes and run into the loo and close the door and give yourself some therapy and come out peaceful and connected and balanced and connected back to your real self. So that gives you a lot more power in business, a lot more stability in relationships, and a lot more gentleness and patience with your children.
So what are you going to teach us today?
I'm going to have to edit out that cough.
That's okay.
I'm feeling a cold, so hang on a second.
That's okay. I've got a bit of a sore throat going on.
Okay. Today I thought we would start with something really gentle because as silly as EFT looks and sounds, it's extremely powerful and it can be intense for people. What you're doing is you're doing 3 things at the same time. You're working the energy meridians of the body. You're tapping points with your finger that are acupuncture meridians. It stimulates the electrical current. You're working with acknowledging yourself and acknowledging what's happening in your head and in your thoughts and your feelings. So you're working on the mental aspect of yourself. And then you're working on the spiritual aspect of yourself by bringing unconditional love and self-acceptance and forgiveness into the mix. And when you do all 3 of those things at the same time, your healing process goes boom, and your body will start to release. So I just want to prepare you. If you're watching this video, you might want to grab some tissue because you have no idea what might be about to happen to you. You might want to grab a pen and paper because there may be something that I say that is relevant for you that you want to remember, or something that you have realized that you want to take note of, that you yourself now need to stay focused and aware in, and you want to work in a new area that you never knew was related to what you're about to experience. So it's, in Star Wars where they're about to go to the other side of the universe and they're like, fasten your seatbelt, Chewbacca, we're going fast, and they go boom, and they're like boom, and they're on the other side of the universe and the stars kind of do this. That's what's about to happen to you on the emotional plane.
Wow.
You're going to get through something in a record time and make insights and have discoveries. So prepare yourself.
Okay. Well, let's go.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just teach you the tapping points while we're doing this, just to shorten this process. And you're going to just have a practical experience. A lot of people are skeptical, especially when they hear something like this, and that's normal. I think you should keep your skepticism until proven otherwise. And this is just a chance, as long as you're open-minded enough to actually do the process and follow along with it, you're not just watching, you will actually have some kind of experience, whether it be big, like I just described, or small and just steady. You're going to feel something most likely. Mm-hmm. So what I'd like you to do is choose an issue that you have around something that you need to do that you keep putting off. So whether that's filing your taxes or cleaning out your closet or getting your car repaired or having a conversation with someone that you know you need to have, but you've just been too chicken to start that conversation. Maybe it's even canceling something that you know you don't want to do, but you're dreading having the phone call. So it can be anything that you're procrastinating. Can you think of something, Gurds?
Actually, to do my taxes before I fly out.
Okay. Ta-da! So this is a really cool thing to do when something feels heavy. And the reason you haven't done it is because it feels like it's going to be heavy. The thing is the longer you put it off, the heavier it gets. It's like I'm lifting this rock and I don't want to have to deal with where this has to go. So I'm just going to hold it. And the longer you hold it, the more exhausted you become. It's actually easier just to go ahead and do it than to wait 2 or 3 weeks or 6 months or whatever. So we're going to deal with that psychological aspect that somehow thinks it's just way easier to hold on to it. So I'm going to show you the points on my body, ask you, Gurds, to do this with us so that our viewers can see a real live person besides me, Sonya Sophia, with the flowers in her hair. Yeah, it might be hard to believe me because how I look, but this is what I like to wear. So
I've actually seen Sonya live in person, guys, and I remember exactly the same. I was like, huh? What's going on? But after the feeling I had, that's all that matters. Like, yeah.
Well, thank you. All right, so I'm going to do the points on me, ask you to do the points on you. Sure. It's kind of call and response. And I'm going to ask you to edit the words that I give you to repeat to make sure that they're more precise for your own experience. So you don't have to say exactly what I say. As a matter of fact, you can even say the opposite if that's what feels more true or more valid for you. But just follow my lead and let's see what happens.
Sure.
All right, so we're going to start by massaging these kind of tender spots in the front of the chest. So if you press around right here, you're going to feel kind of a sore spot in the front of the chest.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're just going to give it a light massage and give yourself a deep cleansing breath, which is like that, a big noisy sigh. Okay? And so think about this thing that you're dreading.
Taxes.
Get it in your head. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
I can see it in your eyes, the taxes. Okay. So even though I've been putting this off, I'm open to loving and accepting myself.
I'm open to loving and accepting myself.
Good. And tap your eyebrows. And what we're doing is we're sending electrical pulses through the body, and we're focusing into the neural network, into the memory banks where all this information is stored. And we're telling your brain that it can relax and start to let go and free up this stored energy that's been creating stress and resistance. Okay, so tapping the eyebrows, big deep breath. Tap the temples. This stress.
This stress.
Think about it, Gurds. How intense is the stress of doing your taxes for you on a scale of 0 to 10?
10.
10, okay. And for you watching this video, how intense is the stress for you around the issue that you're procrastinating? Okay, tap your cheeks. This stress is a level, and then say your number.
This stress is a level of 10.
Big breath. And tap under the nose. Even though I've been putting this off, how long have you been putting it off?
2 weeks?
Even
though I've been putting this off.
I've been putting this off for 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks.
And you at home say however long you've been procrastinating on this. Tap the chest. I've been putting this off for so long.
I've been putting this off for so long.
And that's making it feel worse and worse.
And that's making it feel worse and worse.
Big deep breath. Good. Tapping the front of the ribs. So you're just going to tap right here on the front of your rib cage. So the base of your ribs. So if you put your hands there, you're going to feel where your ribs jut out the most in front. You're going to tap right here on the front of your rib cage. I've been putting this off.
I've been putting this off.
Big noisy breath again. Now you're going to tap the side of your rib cage. So nipple height, side seam of the body right here. And you can tap with the back of your hands, or you can cross your arms and tap like that. Okay, this stress.
This stress.
This level 10 stress.
This level 10 stress.
I've been feeling this for weeks.
I've been feeling this for weeks.
Big noisy breath. Tuning into that stress, that feeling of procrastination. And now we're going to tap the inside of the wrist. Even though part of me feels really stressed about this.
Part of me feels way stressed about this.
I love and respect myself.
I love and respect myself.
Good. Big breath. Tap the side of your thumb. And if it's too hard for you to say, I love and respect myself, if it doesn't really feel comfortable, you can say, I'm open to loving and respecting myself, and just modify it a little bit. Tap the index finger, even though I feel stressed.
Even though I feel stressed.
Because part of me thinks it's going to be what?
Overwhelming.
It's going to be overwhelming. It's going to be difficult. It's going to take a long time.
Oh, yes.
Okay. I'm afraid it'll be overwhelming, difficult, and take a long time.
I'm afraid it'll be overwhelming, difficult, and a long time.
Tap your middle finger and breathe. Tap the bottom of your fourth finger. I love and respect myself.
I love and respect myself.
Even with this part of me that feels stressed.
Even with this part of me that feels stressed.
About
the finances.
Great, and then you say whatever it's about for you. Big breath, make some sound. Tap the little finger. This stress.
This stress.
I've put this off for too long.
I've put this off too long.
Tap the side of the hand, and part of me feels angry at myself.
And part of me feels angry at myself.
I feel like I have to force myself.
I feel like I have to force myself to get it done.
Big breath, tune in that feeling of, I'm having to force myself. How does it feel in your body when you think about having to force yourself to do this?
Ugh, awful.
Where do you feel that in your body, Gurds?
Here and kind of my stomach.
So in your head and your stomach. Okay, tap the top of the head. There's points all over the head. Even though I feel this stress in my, and then say where you feel it.
Even though I feel this stress on my forehead and in my stomach.
I love and respect myself.
I love and respect myself.
And tap the back of your head.
Ooh, that feels weird.
Okay. This stress.
This stress.
And tap your eyebrows. Good. tuning into that stress of having to make yourself do it, that forceful feeling. Tap the temples. Can you still feel it?
It's gone down quite a bit.
What's the stress feel like now?
About 6.
So from a 10 to a 6, and you've just been tapping for a couple of minutes. Tap into the nose. Part of me is dreading doing this because...
Part of me is dreading doing this because it's lastminute.com.
Because I'm doing it last minute.
Because I'm doing it last minute.
Tap the chest. Why do I always wait till the last minute?
Why do I always wait for the last minute?
That adds so much extra pressure.
That adds so much pressure.
Big deep breath.
Ah.
At the front of the ribs. Why do I always wait to the last minute?
Why do I always wait to the last minute?
That adds so much stress and pressure.
And so much stress and pressure.
Tap the side of your ribs and breathe. Tap the inside of the wrist. So just tune into that anxiety. You can feel that coming up in you, that extra stress and pressure we're talking about.
Yeah.
The end of the wire, deadline looming. Big breath.
It's because I'm flying out on Monday.
I've got to get it done.
Yeah.
Tap the side of the thumb. I've got to get it done quickly.
I've got to get it done quickly.
And I've really waited.
And I've really done waited.
I've waited too long.
I've waited too long.
Middle finger. Now I have to do it under pressure.
Now I have to do it under pressure.
Tap the bottom of the forefinger and breathe.
Hmm.
And tap your little finger. I love and forgive myself.
I love and forgive myself.
Tap the side of the hand, even though I've put it off.
Even though I've put it off.
And this has created extra stress and pressure.
And this has created extra stress and pressure.
And tap the top of the head, tuning into the stress you have about doing your taxes. And for those tapping along, the stress you have about whatever it is that you're focusing on. How does it feel now? What number would you rate it?
3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's amazing.
Yes.
So it went from horrible thing looming to kind of an inconvenience. Tap your temples. This stress.
This stress.
I'm not looking forward to doing this.
I'm not looking forward to doing this.
Think about what it's going to take and why you're not looking forward to it. Maybe hours of focus and crunching numbers and wondering if you've got all your receipts and are you doing it right and are you going to get in trouble, and big breath. Tap your chest. Even though part of me is expecting, and then go ahead and speak for 10 or 15 seconds about what dreadful things you're expecting to happen.
Expecting to mess it up, forgotten how to actually do the taxes, forgotten what I'm supposed to do, forgotten half the receipts, don't know where half of them are, need to find them, and figure out the rest.
Okay, tapping the front of the ribs. And hopefully you, watching this video, have just described what it is you're dreading or expecting. Tap the side of the ribs. Part of me is expecting, big breath. Think about it again, that list that you just made.
Part of me is expecting to mess it up.
Yeah, and to not know where everything is. Tap the inside of the wrist. I love and accept myself.
I love and accept myself.
Even if part of me is expecting it to go wrong.
Even if part of me is expecting it to go wrong.
I think I'm going to mess it up.
I think I'm going to mess it up.
Part of me expects to mess it up and feel upset about it.
Part of me feels upset.
Expects to mess it up.
Upset to mess it up.
And part of me expects to mess it up.
Part of me expects to mess it up.
Good. So noticing that right now she's having a hard time saying this, it's not because she can't understand me. It's actually her brain around messing up and feeling like she might mess it up is creating her to mess up the statement, because we're actually touching the part that might have messed it up if she hadn't put some loving intention here. And that's really common for people tapping. It's almost like the words are being scrambled in transmission because they're going into a place where that pattern lives. Tap the middle finger. This fear of messing it up.
This fear of messing it up.
Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. This fear of messing it up.
This fear of messing it up.
Tap the little finger. Even if I mess it up.
Even if I mess it up.
And I might.
And I might. Oh boy, yes.
I love and accept myself.
I love and respect myself.
Did you say always?
Sorry?
What did you say when I said you might mess it up? Did you say always?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a very deep expectation. I always mess this up. Go ahead.
I always mess this up.
And I know that seems strange. Why would you want to reaffirm that? Because we're actually taking the neurology that says, I always mess this up, this is a rule, and we're giving it empathy. And it's very likely that she's going to have a breeze doing her taxes because she's pre-processed the stress and the dread and the fundamental belief that she can't do it right. Up the top of the head. And this is a real time saver. Imagine 15 or 20 minutes of tapping, and suddenly your brain works well when you're in this situation. It's a real money and time saver. Tap the back of your head. This stress and fear of messing it up.
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 I love and respect myself.
I love and respect myself.
And I'm releasing the stress and fear of messing it up.
I'm releasing the stress and fear of messing it up.
If I mess it up, I'll figure it out.
If I mess it up, I will definitely figure it out.
And I don't have to be upset with myself.
And I don't have to be upset with myself.
I'm still learning how to do this.
I'm still learning how to do this.
And it's okay for me to learn how to do it.
And it's okay for me to learn how to do it.
And get some support along the way.
And get some support along the way.
Big breath. Into the feeling of having to get your taxes done.
Fine.
Feels fine. Are you telling me the truth? You're just trying to make me feel better?
No, I'm being serious here. This is really bizarre. Every year I dread doing my taxes. Every single year I will get, well, I used to get one little thing wrong. One tiny, tiny little thing wrong. But I wouldn't know why. And then I'd be like, and then I'd still make the same situation again happen the following year.
Yeah. So this is very interesting because this doesn't just happen to Gurds and her taxes. This happens to people golfing, people playing any kinds of sports, even card games, relationships. I mean, when we have a negative experience with something, our brain wants to protect us from having that experience again and obsesses about it and actually causes the situation because we're so fixated on it. So we'll tend to repeat the same mistakes until we slow down, calm down, tell ourselves it's going to be okay, and gently take ourselves over that terrain. But because the fear is there, we kind of want to hop over it again, and in the hopping over, we stumble. So what she's doing here is going through this very personal moment with you, saying, I have fear, and I feel embarrassed that I mess up on the same thing, and it's scary for me because I don't understand what's happening and I have to go back and fix it. And so as she's processing this and normalizing that, it's actually releasing the tension, and she'll actually have much clearer attention because she's a more relaxed nervous system, so she'll be able to see. And we're just going to program her brain right now, reprogram your brain right now to be able to do what it is that you need to do. So we're going to take a few seconds just to finish the tap with programming ourselves towards our optimal result. Okay, so tap the front of your ribs. I'm open to the possibility.
I'm open to the possibility
of being able to see what I need to do.
Of being able to see what I need to do.
And handling it well.
And handling it well.
Big breath. Okay, tapping the inside of the wrist. I'm open to the possibility.
I'm open to the possibility.
Of being able to see what I need to get done.
Of being able to see what I need to get done.
And having it flow smoother than ever before.
And having it flow smoother than before.
Good. I forgive myself for fearing I'll make a mistake.
I forgive myself for fearing of making a mistake.
And I forgive myself for making the mistakes I've made before.
And I forgive myself for making those mistakes before.
Tap the bottom of the fourth finger. I forgive myself for having to redo this.
I forgive myself for having to redo this.
It's cost me.
It has cost me.
And even though it's cost me to learn this lesson.
And even though it's cost me to learn this lesson.
And I might have to keep learning it the same way. It's possible that I can actually learn now.
It's possible that I can actually learn now.
From what I've done before. And see how to do it differently. I'm allowing myself to remember the correct way to do this.
I'm allowing myself to remember the correct way in how to do this.
Mm-hmm. I'm allowing myself to get it done the first time. And to feel peaceful and at ease while I do this.
At ease whilst doing this.
Right? Tap under your lips and think about how it would feel to sit down and fill out the forms and do the math and the computer, whatever it is that you're doing, and actually feeling comfortable at the same time.
It's going to sound really odd, but enjoyable.
So odd means she doesn't have a neural network yet that has that information in it. It's brand new and wow, could that even exist? So tap the chest. What would it be like to feel peaceful and at ease in the situation?
What would it feel like being peaceful and at ease in the situation?
And you watching this at home, think about what it would be like to feel peaceful and at ease in the situation you're talking about. And imagine yourself doing this with peace and ease. And maybe even, dare I say, enjoying it, feeling accomplished, feeling like, wow, that was not as hard as I thought. I'm tapping the front of your ribs. I'm allowing myself the possibility of enjoying it.
I'm allowing myself the possibility of enjoying it.
Big breath.
Wow.
What would it be like to enjoy this? Or at least feel neutral about it. Mm-hmm. Good. Tap the inside of your wrist. I'm allowing this to be easier than I thought.
I'm allowing this to be easier than I initially thought.
Mm-hmm. Good. So now I want you to project yourself into the moment that you're doing your taxes again. See how it feels?
Whisking away.
It's going to be fun to do a follow-up with you on how this went for you.
Definitely.
So just tap all over your body and say, I can do this.
Oh, I can definitely do this.
I am doing this. I'm creating a new experience for myself. Yeah, tap all over your body.
Wow. Guys, this is just unbelievable. I hope you guys have had exactly the same feeling as I have, because the situation has gone from a 10 to... That's just powerful. I have no words. And it's very hard.
It's amazing. It can be a little confronting to see how quickly you can change your mind when you're so used to a situation being the way it is that it's almost become part of an identity. If any challenge with tapping is how good can you stand it and how fast do you dare let yourself go. But I invite you to find out. I've created a beautiful website and actually mostly funded by the English, which is so cool. Beautiful, wealthy family in England gave me a ton of money to create this platform, which is now serving the whole world in giving them very economical way to do this work on a consistent basis. And as a matter of fact, all these tapping videos on different subjects and showing you how to get underneath the cause of your issues and how to dismantle them and how to bring yourself back into love and balance and peace. And people using the same format here, the Google Hangouts format, so you'll be very familiar with the way it looks on the screen. And I've set up a free month, a truly free month. There's no credit card login. There's no extra auto charge later. If you like it, subscribe and get your tap on with me. And if you are just curious and interested, you'll have invitations to tap with us live. In your time zone, it's going to be late at night. So for you party animals that want to stay up late and do it live. But otherwise, it goes into a video library. So you have all the circles that we do on demand. And you can click it just like you click this YouTube video and tap for an hour and a half and really start to understand and heal yourself of all kinds of things. Emotional trauma, physical trauma, abuse, bad memories, divorce, missed opportunities, regrets, fears. Physical things tend to heal as well when you start cleaning up the emotions around them. So I hope you invest some love into yourself and try this odd-looking, silly-looking, very powerful, very real healing modality out for yourself.
Oh, bless you. No, thank you so much, Sonya. That was so powerful. And I'm sure you guys out there have had a massive feeling as well too. Guys, do check out the website. I definitely recommend it. And we'll definitely be doing another session very soon.
And we'll put the link underneath this video. But if you want to write it down now, I have two websites. My personal website, if you want to find out more about me and my trainings and teachings and locations of doing events. Sonya, Sonya, Sophia, Sophia.us. And the World Tapping Circle is the tapping broadcast I do, and that's worldtappingcircle.com. Tapping is spelled with 2 P's, worldtappingcircle.com. So get on my email list and I'll send you free tapping videos as well on the sonyasophia.us website.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Do definitely check out Sonya and we will definitely see you soon. Take care.
It's really nice to connect.